I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth.
Biden is trying to assuage concerns that governors and a bunch of elected officials have about his performance and, and honestly about his, his capacity. The debate performance was really bad for Biden. But then I think the question is, can he convince other Democrats? Can he convince governors? Can he convince members of Congress that he is able to keep going and will actually be a strong candidate? And then I think separately from the candidacy part, is he doing okay as president, right? Like, is he doing okay? And so this meeting, I think, is supposed to help with that.
And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
No, I don't think he's toast. Campaigns go through cycle after cycle, and they're incredibly unpredictable. They always have been, and even more so now in a world with social media, in a world filled with so many incidents day after day. And then when your opponent is Donald Trump, who knows? Who knows what other videotapes are going to arrive about Donald Trump and what other relationships? So there are just too many variables. But what I do think is not going to go away are the questions about Joe Biden's health. He might still win this election. In fact, he still might be the favorite to win this election if he stays in. But his campaign was hoping that the debate would put the concerns about his health to rest. Those concerns about his health will not go to rest. They will be with us if he stays in the campaign every day of the campaign. Well, we have only had presidential debates on television since 1960, and in many cases we did not have many of them. So this is a somewhat unique situation. We have not had a president before who has had a moment that revealed such apparent frailty and health difficulties in a debate. If I were running Joe Biden's campaign, I would want him to be out in front of crowds every day, proving that he is as healthy and vigorous. If it's possible, what the Democrats need to do before and during and after the convention is show the most vigorous Joe Biden possible. I'm just not sure they can do that, right? What Donald Trump would want to do, it seems to me, is not only to show vigor, but to show reasonableness, to make it so it's not a liar versus a feeble old man, but maybe a feeble old man versus a reasonable candidate. But I'm not sure Donald Trump can do that. I mean, the striking thing about the debate was as difficult as it was to watch Joe Biden, it was equally difficult to watch Donald Trump when every word that came out of his mouth was a lie. I think these two men are who they are, and I think the real question for the Democratic Party is who Biden is. Is that something they can still build a campaign around, or are they more comfortable building a campaign around someone else?
Who likes Crooked Joe the best? Who likes Sleepy Joe the best?
I do think that, assuming Biden does decide to go forward, him doing more appearances with Kamala Harris, joint appearances with Kamala Harris, thinking about the team would be helpful because people who watched the debate or heard about the debate now have more questions potential about capacity, right? And how long might Biden may live for decades, right? Like Jimmy Carter, or, something might happen to him where he's incapacitated and the vice president would take over.
And now it is my honor to introduce our president, Joe Biden.
And so just like Biden has negatives, Kamala Harris also has negatives. And I think if you look at some polling on some of the other alternatives that have been mentioned, Gretchen Whitmer, Gavin Newsom, they have less negatives, but they're less known. And so I think anybody who would become the Democratic nominee, whether it's Kamala Harris or one of the other ones, would immediately get a lot more negative ratings, just because those on the Republican side are going to immediately react. The one thing with Kamala Harris that I think makes her a little bit more electable than Biden right now is if you look at the polling, there's more independents who are undecided about her. So she can persuade people in a way that Biden maybe can't persuade people to move.
There are going to be many times in your life where you're going to be told that can't be done. It's never been done before. It's not time. They're not ready for it. And then this is the one I love. It's going to be a lot of hard work. Don't you listen. I eat no for breakfast.
How about the substance? Again, I mean...
But it's the performance everyone's talking about, Governor.
I care about the substance.
You have to address the performance.
Would you be willing to take that ticket?
I'm not even... It's not
Everyone's
even,
talking
it's
about
not
the
even,
performance.
I'll never turn my back on
Are you ready to take on Donald?
Bullying people on Twitter doesn't fix bridges. It burns them. Our energy should be used to solve problems.
I do think the presence of Robert Kennedy Jr., Cornel West, libertarian candidates, other third-party candidates could be pretty meaningful. And those candidates might only get 5-6% of the vote. But the question would become, does somebody who would hold their nose and vote for Trump actually go vote for Robert Kennedy Jr.? Then Biden might win, right? Does somebody who wants to, hold their nose and vote for Biden, but actually then goes and votes for Jill Stein or Cornel West or whoever? I really think those handful, 3, 5, 10 percentage points of third-party candidates could actually swing the outcome. And I would guess the winner of the Electoral College in a Biden-Trump contest is not going to get 50% of the vote in most of the swing states. And so that makes the mobilization of your core supporters even more important.
If Americans want to vote out of fear, they're going to vote for these guys. If they want to vote out of hope, they're going to vote out of me, because I want to talk.